welcome all to the Red Pill. I am Mike, aka Veteran Crypto, and with me this evening is our host Paulo and
Hey, how's it
Easy
going?
XRP Peasy Squeezy. What up, brother?
Good to see you again, man.
So this is our Red Pill show. This is just like David should be here in a little bit. Jeff is over on the game show with Crux of Crypto and all them. And so we might have some people with the Red Pill. Sometimes people just show up. Usually I just send out a bunch of invites and whoever shows up is whoever shows up.
That's a cool format.
We've had Drew from over at Discover Crypto pop in before. We've had just my brother will pop in from time to time. So
Dude, I imagine this vibe is like what it would have been like if after the debate, like we had like an after party kind of thing with like whiskey and a fireplace. Yeah, good vibes.
Yeah. So yeah, just super chill. So hey, what's up, Crispy? How's it going, brother? So if you guys could help us grow this channel, because this channel's out in the cold now. It's not on the Node network anymore. It's over on its own. It was dragging our analytics down, and so we came over here to swear and be controversial, so that it didn't drag down the regular channel. So
and then you put me on the Node network, and he was like, I apologize, man.
Oh, dude, it's all good. I
get convicted.
It's all good. So Paulo, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys? I was watching the XRP and the Node channel, and that was very entertaining. That was a good watch.
That was a good time. My whole channel loved it. I think the Node network loved it. I think we all had a great time. I think that was, and it made me a bit hostile.
Let me ask you this, because I watch it like as an audience, as the viewer. So now I'm interacting with you, and I have the chance to ask you a few things.
Oh, yeah.
So from what you said, do you understand? And this is the Red Pill, so it's a good place to talk about this. From what I understood, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that the financial system is rigged, that there was a secret meeting that XRP is going to be the next X money, and maybe XRP and Doge is going to be the next X money. Is that right?
Well, it's all a connected system. So crypto as a whole,
that Bitcoin is the Antichrist or something.
It's not that Bitcoin's the Antichrist.
I'm just trying to understand.
We're just gonna jump. We're gonna go jump right in the deep end on this Red Pill. Let's just fucking send it. All right,
let's do this. I'm ready. Yeah. So are you of faith or religion, Paul? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
What is your?
I believe in a higher power. I'm not particularly religious.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm not religious. I'm just a man with faith too.
Right.
And so have you heard of obviously the mark of the beast and the beast system in the future?
Yes.
So this all leads to that. So crypto, the whole project as a whole, it leads and builds to that system, and that's why they want to tokenize everything. They want to tokenize you. They want to tokenize your family, your business. They want to, because if they tokenize it, they can put a value on it, control it, and sell that. And you probably know that, they've already sold our social security numbers, with some sort of weird maritime law or something like that.
But why crypto itself is the market?
Actually, I actually fact checked that because I ran into that the whole theory that supposedly we're used as currency, like our birth certificates are used as currency or something. And I actually looked into it. Everything I found said that was debunked.
I'd be glad if it was debunked, man. Trust me. When I do my videos, I relate 100% with Alex Jones on this one topic. I relate with him a lot of stuff.
But isn't what you're saying is that there is a black market for it? There is a black market for that kind of information. That's a fact.
Oh yeah. No, there's definitely a black market for identities. I mean, there's for clandestine operations, if you're an illegal alien, there's all kinds of people that sell documents, and it's kind of scary easy to do. I mean, all you got to do is find somebody that passed away. That there's and you can go to the Hall of Records and basically submit forms at the counter and basically get a fake identity. It's super easy to get a fake identity.
Yeah, if you mean to, it's very possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so leads to the beast system. So it'll become the beast system. It doesn't necessarily mean that's the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast will take a while for them to like implement. And the mark of the beast, I think, will be implemented for the sake of convenience. Like people will want the mark of the beast because it'll be convenient. I mean, imagine how easy it'd be if you had like in your hand, like a chip or something like that, or like something like Neuralink, and you were able to go and just like wave and do everything with your identity. And that was just, it would be so convenient. And there would also be like security behind it. It'd be like, oh, it'd be connected to you, and all this stuff.
I'll tell you, when I was young, like nobody would freaking, even think about going along with something like that. But I look at our society now and just, the attachment that people have to their phones and, the comfort level that they have with tech. I could totally see the majority of people these days just being like, oh, there's a chip that makes my life easier. All right, where do I sign up?
Yeah, and people already have. Like, there's like 12,000 people in some European country that signed up for it and did it.
I did see that pilot program where they put it in that one guy's hand, and like he has it to like get in his house and start his car, and like he was like the pilot program.
I'd be 1,000% down for that if it wasn't for the New World Order's plan for it. Like, I mean, I like convenience.
Well, but, why can't I just use my voice? Why can't I just be like, hey, car start, house open, lights on? Why do I gotta have a chip? I'm just like, I'll just use my voice, man.
Like, I'll go back to a flip phone if I can avoid this beast system.
Right.
Yeah, so I think something like Neuralink or something like that, or something like some sort of chip or something like that in the future will be the actual mark of the beast. But it will be because of the beast system that they have that much control for sure.
Roadcoin. What do you guys think of Roadcoin? Remember, Roadcoin was something about like reading your retina, and there we're gonna issue a token. You remember Roadcoin?
I hadn't heard of that.
Roadcoin is a crypto coin, a cryptocurrency that there's a whole market, a separate market, centralized market, where I have my Roadcoin, you have easy peasy, your Roadcoin, Mike has his, so we have our currency. What is different about that is that they individually scan each one of the user's retina. And so they have not only our social security, they have the retina, which is also like a very specific part of your body, and that you can distinguish from each one.
Like snowflakes.
What is that?
Like snowflakes.
Correct. Yeah, it's very specific and it's not repeatable. So that's what they have, and they've been paying people a few $100s in different countries if you're willing to go through that process.
Wow, that's peanuts.
Yeah.
So not worth it. So scary. Yeah.
It worked in Buenos Aires in Argentina. They had a whole line. I was in an event in Brazil where they were scanning retinas of people to be part of that network. So it's like, let's say you want to be part of the Node.pro, the Node.net. Okay, so your price of admission is, we need to have your fingerprints, your retina, your specific which kind of skin you have. So very specific information. So I know that easy peasy is easy peasy, and not someone else.
I think that's what the SAVE Act is all leading and building up to. Like the SAVE Act is like first like, oh, security for the country, like, oh, your ID, oh, we want to know exactly who you are. And then they're going to build it into that so that, even the people who are semi-awake will, think that's a good idea. Because think of how many right now, like pro-Trumpers are like 100% for like the SAVE Act, not knowing that like it's leaning a little bit past what even we'd want, which is just, voter ID at the registration.
I'll admit, I won't say I voted for Trump. My state for some reason hates to count my vote. I put my ballot in, but they didn't count it.
We wouldn't say why.
Well, I live in a place I can do mail-in ballots, and I live in the middle of nowhere, so I mail it in, and they keep telling me that my signature doesn't match. So like the last time, I even drove in and redid a signature card and all that. And then I'm like, so my vote's going to count, right? And they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. We'll get it counted. And I tracked it on the website and they never counted it. And that's like the fourth time, since I've moved up to this place that they haven't counted my vote. It's like, my vote just doesn't fucking count.
Yeah. That's horrifying. I mean, cause I think of how many people that affected. And I would wager believe it has something to do with the area you came from. Like you come from out in the sticks, so they know you're going to lean one direction, a little bit. And so they're like, no, we don't need this guy's vote. We just want the people.
Well, and I'll be honest. I mean, out of the choices we had, I went with Trump because I mean, as bad as he is, because I mean, he's not perfect. Trust me, I'm not one of those where I think that he does no wrong. It's I agree with a lot of the stuff he does, but not everything.
Yeah.
And but way better than Kamala Harris.
Oh God, Lord, yeah. If they had been able to sneak her in, it would have been way downhill, way faster.
Yeah. No. We would have been in a world of shit. But pretty much everything Trump promised, he didn't deliver. You know, he said no more wars. We've been in like 2 or 3 wars, since he got into office. He said that he was going to, give crypto clarity. Instead, he launched a bunch of meme coins and, sucked all the liquidity out of the market at the beginning of the bull run. He's definitely, definitely not somebody that, like, if he was able to go for a 3rd term, definitely not somebody I'd vote for. Not after his performance this round.
I've heard they're going to use some sort of clause that won't even require a vote. Have you guys heard that?
I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know all the details on it, but I've heard that they're kind of like planning to like sneak it in somehow, like where he's like not only the 3rd term, but like the last president. And I don't know what that means, whether that means like into some sort of new system or. But
I'm not sure if I trust the voting system. I don't know if I trust the ballots and if they're legitimate and if it work. Well, Mike is living proof. You've tried 4 times and he came back. What's up with that?
What's that?
You are living proof that if it works, it's far from perfect. You tried voting 4 times and it came back.
Yeah.
It didn't work. Didn't go through.
Yeah. No, it's just. It makes me wonder, like, the system's just broke. I don't know why that they don't just put voting on the blockchain to where it's fully transparent, fully auditable. Any U.S. citizen can audit it. You can make sure that only living people that are legally able to vote can vote. Each person gets a vote, and you can just do it from your phone, and you can see the results real time.
I think that sentiment right there, like that, exactly what you laid out, is kind of similar to like, I think like why the mark of the beast will seem so enticing, because the mark of the beast will be able to provide all that, and I think that's part of, it's like one caveat as to why the mark of the beast will probably be so enticing even to like, people who are aware of it a little bit.
If you open an Uber account, you need to give away more information than you do if you want to vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris or anything like that.
Yeah.
If you open your banking app, you need more layers of security than if you are to vote. Almost anything that you do that you need to have some sort of form that you need to fill out is safer than if you want to vote. Why is that? Is that by design?
It's all by design. They want to like make sure that they can rig it as easy as possible. And it technically failed last time. Sorry, there's a jet going over. I'm by an airport. But
I'm by an airport.
Yeah. I'm ready to leave the country anytime. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
They want it all riggable. So that's 1000% why. There's nothing anything that seems like a happenstance, but it goes in their favor, is on purpose. They're all doing this stuff. They're all forcing this stuff in. That's why it was so easy for me to deduce through the whole crypto thing, and my conspiracy just hit like this crypto thing, and then it like immediately registered all of my synapses for all the other for all the conspiracies I've researched my entire life. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I've known about their plan for a one world reserve currency for the 15 years of my life. And so when I saw XRP and the technology, I was like, oh. And so it's no wonder that they make it try to look like a shit coin, because they don't want, when they do their wealth transfer, they don't want anyone, peasants involved. And they know some of us will hang on at the end, but they want as many people out as possible before they power that bitch on, because it is the new system. And so, yeah, sorry. Tangent.
No, I'm fucking with David because he's not in here, and
he's always late. What's up with that?
Oh, he is. He's always late. But he was like saying something, and he's talking about money, and I always give him a hard time because he's very unfiltered. and he's Jewish, and so anytime he like starts talking about money, I'm like, all right, Jew, you know. I'm like, don't get all Jewish on me. So no, it's all in good fun. But
yeah.
But,
you guys seem like
I'm
you've
just
known each other a while.
no, we're like him and Jeff's been up here to my cabin like a couple of times, and then him and David actually came up to the cabin a couple of months ago. And
I want to go up to the cabin, dude. I want to do your course, your military operation.
Not everybody gets to come to the homestead. The homestead this is my safe place. This is where I keep the energy pure.
Do you have to prove lack of XRP holdership?
No. It's mostly it's just like a certain energy. Yeah. It's very low stress. I've created like a perfect world where there's like no stress. That it's like super creative. It's like very chill. It has a really good vibe, and so I'm very careful. I'm not like one of those like big into everything's energy, but there is an energy like in the world, and people put off an energy, and I enjoy keeping a certain type of energy around me.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, the sooner you can get there, I think the better. And it's different for everyone too. Like somebody's perfect oasis, like yours, will be completely different for someone else. Like somebody else's oasis would be like, living on an island alone. Somebody else's oasis would be like living in a mansion with 1,000 cars. Like everyone's oasis is different, but you should at least know what that is for yourself. So kudos to you, man. That's cool.
Easy peasy. What is the SAVE Act that you were talking about?
Well, so Trump's trying to push this SAVE Act right now. And it's essentially, I think it's a big old bill packaged around the whole cause of like creating, voter ID, basically securing the fact that you have to have voter ID or at least verified recognition of who's voting in the country. And that's a good cause. But I think it's just like everything. Everything's like a Trojan horse. Everything's packed with other shit that they're trying to sneak in there. And so I think, it probably leans a little bit more towards the mark of the beast, and trying to implement. It's going to take stages. The mark of the beast isn't just going to come out one day. That's why XRP is taking so long. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, like, what were you guys? As far as the topic for tonight, I mean, kind of what I was wanting to talk about, like, really was the kind of everyone is not influenced, but it seems like a lot of people are incentivized to like into cities. So it's almost like they to me, this is what it seems like to me, like from the outside looking in, because I live out in the boonies now. I lived in the city. And I've lived all around the world. So I've lived in a lot of different, environments, a lot of cultures and things like that. And it seems like that everyone's being pushed into cities. And to me, I kind of wonder if it's like a means of control, because it seems like, as time goes on, everything is more control.
Yep.
They want digital currencies so that they can, watch what you're spending money on, and they know exactly how much taxes, to take. And
they can pull it back.
Yeah, they can claw it back. They can freeze it. When it comes to utilities, in the city, if you're hooked up to the power grid, if you're using sewer and water, you can be shut off. It just seems like every time I turn around, there's another lever of control that's being installed. Oh, there's David. There's another lever of control being installed, in society or by governments or, by something. It's just, and it's like this slow grind. It's like, what's that analogy with the boiling pot of boiling water and the frog?
Cooking the frog. You turn the water on to boil. You set the window when the water is lukewarm, and then it builds up over time, and they never know to jump out.
Yeah, and it's just like that's honestly, when I look at the societies in the world right now, that's what I see. I see a bunch of frogs sitting in lukewarm water, and the water's warming up.
Yeah. So, and I see that for everyone in the crypto community too, but like it's what it comes down to.
Unless they invest in XRP.
Unless they hold XRP, yeah. And so we don't need to go down those rabbit trails tonight. But
no.
So the smart cities that they want to build, they've already built some. There was a trucker that was delivering stuff to this smart city they're building. So they want to build it. They call them 15-minute cities. And their incentive will be like, oh, you don't have to own a car. You don't have to own this. You don't have to even own the house. You just, you get like this.
You own nothing and be happy.
Yeah. And you can walk to everywhere you go. You can walk to work, walk to the grocery store, and so they're going to have cameras on every square inch of that place. And so anyone that gets forced into that box of society will be stuck there. And so that's why, I get so passionate on my channel about people holding XRP, specifically because like that, I don't think that they'll be able to claw back XRP. So because they're going to make that a high value asset at some point in time, whether that's a year from now, 5 years from now, nobody really knows. Because they're going to make that a high value asset, and because that will be in cold storage, they won't be able to touch that for a while. So it'll take a few more years of them implementing the Beast system and stuff like that. And so that's why I've told people, and that's why I urged you guys to even get like 100, even though that's not like a ton, just as a defensive mechanism, like whether you hate XRP.
I got gold, silver, and ammo for that.
And that's all equally important in my opinion. Like, one's going to do a more parabolic move in my opinion. But all of those are going to be.
Ammo's going to do a parabolic move.
Well, it goes parabolic, but not on a chart.
So, David, what's up? Before we turn the audio on and see how our boy Jeff is representing us, what are you up to?
Oh man, just working. I've been building that stat arb desk, and just going back and forth in Cursor, building that thing out. Really do want to make that something that generates some decent income. So yeah, man, it's a lot of work, dude. Statistical arbitrage is not easy. So started to get some good results, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. But I just been working my ass off, man. And so the topic of the show was the government does not want you to build here. So like if I'm going to bring it back to crypto for a second, I think that
our government doesn't want us to build on crypto.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so because. When I look at like the Genius Act and the Clarity Act, like these are not good pieces of legislation for anyone who's like an independent builder. They're good if you've got.
They can't even get a shitty bill passed. I mean, like the Clarity Act. Everything I've read on it, it's a hunk of shit. They still can't get it passed.
Yeah, well, I mean, probably because they haven't figured out a way to steal from us yet. In that act, like good enough, I think that's really what it comes down to is control and monitoring everything for the purpose of theft. And
my thesis on the Clarity Act.
Sure.
So my thesis on the Clarity Act is all part of this pre-planned mechanism. They're going to ignite it at a time of their choosing. So I don't think they're struggling with anything passing the Clarity Act because all the people that are holding back from passing the Clarity Act right now. They're all puppets of the, higher power and stuff like that. So all the people, like not all, but like most of the people in the Senate, right and left, they're controlled by powers higher than themselves. And so the second that they get the call, like, hey, get your shit in here, get your ass in there, open the Senate and pass the Clarity Act, they're going to do it. And so all this other stuff that they like the Democrats ironically talking about ethics and all that bullshit, that's just all theater in my opinion.
Oh, dude.
No, I agree.
There's no ethics in freaking Washington, D.C. I mean, they're all freaking insider trading and doing it. Basically everything we'd get thrown in jail for, they fucking do on a daily basis. But let's check on Jeff real quick and make sure he's representing the Node Network.
Go, Jeff.
Different episodes ago, we do this every Monday and every Thursday. 2 different ones ago, Rue actually won this, so he'll be back on Monday. We'll bring him back on and he just super chatted 777. Very interesting number there. Imagine XRP as the next world reserve currency. Looking for good, fellas. We are winning bigly. Pause. So awesome message. Thank you, Rue, for supporting, and we'll check you out Monday.
Did you send that? Easy.
I did not do that.
So a lot of people, they're just done with them. I wore the Robinhood shirt today because there's some good NFT products that are starting to pop off, and I think there's a possibility that it comes back. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's go ahead and swing this over to Ski first. So NFTs will make a return as a leading crypto niche. So by leading, let's go ahead and define that. Let's make it a top 7.
What do you guys think? Do you think
Strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree? What about you, Peasy?
NFTs, I'll be honest, I don't know enough about them. I think that they're a fun niche kind of item, but like, I mean,
short answer.
I think that there's people that are weird enough to be into that. Yeah.
David?
Yeah, no, I think that if we're talking about NFTs that like represent real world stuff, 100%, it's going to be big, big, big.
Yeah, I that's as usual. I agree with David. It's like unless he's talking about Arrow. Unless he's talking about Arrow, then I strongly disagree. All right,
you guys make a good team.
No, yeah, we do. All right, here we go. Let's see what they got to say.
Top 7 crypto niches, up there with real world assets, up there with stable coins, up there with, just a leading narrative, even meme coins. Is it going to be a top 7? What you got, Ski?
Top 7, I would agree.
Okay. Jeff?
I'm going to strongly agree.
All right. You got to be the meme coin guy of the group, I'm sure. Yeah, I didn't know there's a meme coin guy of the group. Yeah. All right.
I hate meme coins.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. What you got, Shook? You're muted.
Yeah, I got to go strongly agree on this one.
Dang. Okay. Doc?
I'm going to just plain disagree.
And Max?
I got to have you put in context again, brother. So are we talking about like your Bored Apes, Yacht Club style NFTs, or are we talking about utility-based NFTs that people don't even realize exist?
Yeah, so this is going to be the Bored Apes, the crypto punks.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Bored Apes.
The NFTs.
That's gone.
We knew in 2021. That didn't really.
Yeah, no. That was the right question to ask. Max, he asked the right question. It's like, okay,
yeah,
what type
that's where it
of,
lost me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what type of NFTs? Are we talking about cartoon monkeys, or are we talking about RWAs? It's like, what are we talking about here?
When I think NFT, I just remember Justin Bieber bought one for like 1.5 million, and then it went to like 0.
I think last I heard it was at like around 10 grand or something like that. But still, no, dude, I was new to crypto when everybody was going crazy over that stuff, and I knew it was retarded. So if like an old vet that lives in the woods that just got into crypto knows that something is stupid, you should probably freaking not do it.
What's your guys' project that you guys have made the most money on in crypto so far?
You know what?
Coin.
XRP. XRP.
Wow.
Oh, okay. When did it move? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I did. I bought for like 4 or 5 years. Like I said on the show, I mean, I'm totally transparent about my journey in crypto. It's all documented. DeFi crypto and airdrops. When me and Jeff did that, before that, I was doing bullshit and bourbon, where it was basically this show with my brother and some friends. And no, I've been totally transparent. I had over 40,000 XRP. I had HBAR, XLM, XRP, all the ones that I think are don't have any value capture, all the ISO tokens. I had them all. And I was buying XRP at like 32, 33, 34 cents.
Lucky guy.
And when it started pumping, it got to $2. I was like, and I'm off this train. And
that wasn't a bad play. Like I wanted to make it clear, let people know, XRP has been a wild roller coaster ride on purpose. And so like if you got out at $3.50 and then bought some back in at $1, or that was
I did. I'm not going to pretend like I timed the top or anything like that.
No, and no one did. But I'm just saying, like, that would have been a great play to get out at that time. And even one of the Riddlers, even one of the Riddlers said to get out at that time. So there's been times to get out, times to get in, but eventually there's going to be a day when they power it on. I think it's talked about that it will be an overnight event, or it will be like overnight.
See, I can't get behind that. But David, go
neither.
It's a lot.
I can't. So the reason I can't get behind it is because I think that evil loses in the end.
I hope so.
Well, yeah. I mean, all that stuff, dude, that stuff is evil, man. And I think that, number one, I can't support it. Like, I can't have anything to do with it, right?
Yeah.
Is it evil?
It's evil.
You say it's evil?
It's $1 million.
I can do it. I can do a joke. I could do a joke on XRP holders right now. Like, why make billions when we could make thousands?
Yeah, right.
It's like, if you're lucky.
Why make money when you could lose money?
Exactly.
I have only ever lost money in XRP.
Well, then why do you hold it, man?
Well, because I know that in the end, the price that I got into is going to be irrelevant when it does its move. So and it's one of those things where it's like, I've done enough deep dives where I don't think it's going to be like a parabolic bull run with everything else. They plan to liquidate 98% of the crypto market, and that's all part of the Clarity Act as well. And they also plan to liquidate Bitcoin, which is a whole.
You had me till Bitcoin, because I think a lot of cryptos are going to disappear. There's no way 54 million cryptos are going to survive.
Yeah.
Between regulation and David's talked about this. When it comes to innovation, it depending on what the Clarity Act says, if they drive innovation out and make it to where you have to have millions upon millions of dollars just to hire the lawyers, just to start up an idea, they're going to drive all innovation. There's going to be a guy that's coding on a laptop in Costa Rica with a Mai Tai or a fucking pina colada, with him and his buddies sitting around a table grinding away, and they're going to be launching DeFi protocols, and they're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. The U.S. needs to get off their ass and pass something that is going to keep innovation here, because that's what made America great. Was innovation. All the most intelligent people from around the world used to want to come to the U.S. because this is where the opportunity was. This is where the money was at. We're driving all of that out. We need innovation. We need the smart people. That's what made America great.
I do want to add my thesis, because I was really disappointed in myself that when you guys asked about Bitcoin in the first debate, I didn't really give you guys what I thought was going to happen to Bitcoin. I just gave the metaphor because I wanted people to get it. But so they installed Michael Saylor. He's a pre-planned elitist fall guy. So he had a .com crash.
He's got a bad backstory, that Saylor, man.
Yeah, so they installed him so that they could initiate the liquidation of Bitcoin. And I'm not saying that Bitcoin's going to go to zero. I'm not saying Bitcoin's going to be like dead forever.
Well, what's the time frame for what you're saying?
Very, very around the same time as the collapse of the economy. So the next month or two. But what they're in
the next 30 days.
No, like the next month or two. Like that's based on like
1 or 2 months ahead.
Because there's a theory that the Japanese reverse carry trade is going to trigger like a global market collapse, and that will trigger other shorts, and that will trigger other longs. But so my thesis around Bitcoin is that they installed Michael Saylor as a pre-planned fall guy, and they're the ones that propped him up, the New World Order elitists. So they propped him up and put him in there and invested all that capital in there to pump it up. And just like they're pumping the stock markets right now for no reason, like we've been at war for months, and they've been pumping the stock market to all-time high after all-time high. And so they're just fattening the pig for the slaughter before this event happens, because they know how much liquidity is going to have to be required to power on their new financial system. And so
that's going to be XRP and the XRP ledger.
Surprise!
So XRP, this is how you know that Michael Saylor and his Strategy Inc. and also Sam Altman are going to be the two of the horsemen of this coming apocalypse. You know how? Is because they're both on Forbes, Forbes cover. They both made it onto the Forbes cover, bro. That has been like one of the best curses out there. Like you make it onto, it's like super consistent. Like you get onto.
Who else being in Forbes cover?
Dude, like fucking Scam Bankman-Fried.
Okay, that's a good one.
That chick who made that company where it tested like a little bit of your blood that was a complete fraud.
Okay, yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Like Welcome to Yourself or something.
Bernie Madoff, a bunch of people. Like when you get like a particular Forbes cover, it's like a guaranteed curse. It's got a name. It's like the curse of the Forbes cover or something. So
I think it's more than a curse. I think that's predictive programming. Like they're showing you their plan ahead of time.
Kind of like The Simpsons, how there's all the crazy shit that makes it into The Simpsons like a decade before. Thing. Yeah. There's something to that.
You agree with Izzy?
I don't know. I kind of do, dude. I think that like there's something to that stuff. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think that there's something to it.
And you agree with him that in the coming 60 to 90 days, we're going to have an economic collapse.
I mean,
I believe absolutely, yeah.
I don't look, obviously,
because just like my friend David says, there is no difference between being early and being wrong. So it all depends on the time frame, because XRP can make us all billionaires. Yeah, but are we talking 5 months or 5 decades? It's all about the time frame.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Paulo. But like the time frame stuff, like, dude, the more that you read about this AI trade, and then just read about what Japan has going on, like, dude, those two things together, and then like honestly, like what Michael Saylor did in 2000, like he was the trigger in 2000 in March for the start of the end. Like he was like literally the trigger.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Well, yeah, man.
Bubble also.
So I think
Bitcoin's fine.
I think that I think Bitcoin's going to be fine, but I think that it'll probably have some significant drawdown. I mean, dude, we're like 55 days away from the end of the bear, so like there should be one. I hope, yeah,
we hope.
And like, dude, you look at Anthropic
because that's speculation. Because that's speculation,
David. Anthropic. So that guy Dario Amodei, like you talk about evil, man. Like that dude, it's Misanthropic should be the name of his company, man. And so like, he's about to take that pile of dog shit. He's going to take that thing public at like a $2 trillion valuation or some shit right before the midterms, dude. Like at some point in October or maybe even at the end of September. And so like when you see these massive IPOs after chips have run parabolic and the biggest companies in the world are literally handing all of their cash flow to the chip makers, like, dude, this happened before. Like there have been chip parabolas in the past. And whenever you see the IPOs, that marks the top. And then there's some type of horrible drawdown. And so I don't know if it's going to happen in the next 60 days. I kind of sort of hope so, because it would be such an amazing opportunity to buy. But
so
we'll see.
My theory on the bear market is that they have had it be very consistent over the last like 4 years, or sorry, 4 like cycles. So they've had this consistent bear market and bull market cycle. I think the reason they put it in kind of like clockwork was so that everyone was going to think that this is going to play out, and then so bull runners even called it like October 5th every time bull market starts. And so I think they've been doing that in anticipation of wanting to power on the new system. And they're going to send it about a month before. And so that is like, there's a lot of reasons I think that. But I think the reason they've made it like clockwork is so that everyone, even the professionals like bull runners, might get caught off guard and not be 100% in position when these things start to run. And so during that period of time, I think there's several huge problems I have with Bitcoin. And it's not because like I told you, if it was what they said it was, I think it's one of the coolest projects ever. And I'd love to hold some. But I think that they intend to liquidate it first, if they don't just liquidate it forever, because they're going to move Satoshi's wallet. Because you guys remember I was telling you that David Schwartz, I believe, is part of the Satoshi team or was part of the project. I think he has access to the keys. And so I think they're going to move Satoshi's wallet. And then they're also going to liquidate Michael Saylor around the same time. And if you see those two events happen around the same time, you could see some very serious sell orders all around the same time, and then that would be devastating at the time to Bitcoin. And so that's why I've warned people, like, I think that's a danger. And then in the future, that they're gonna, because Russia already came out and said that they're not gonna allow mining around Bitcoin mining around Moscow. And so if that expands and as this energy crisis, which we all know the energy crisis is a fraud, if this energy crisis builds up, then they come out and say like, oh, no more Bitcoin mining. I mean, that's going to be just one more false flag, devastating effect.
So, have you read into anything around the red team that's, taking a look at all the Bitcoin projects right now, all the open source Bitcoin projects?
No.
Turns out they're all full of bugs and just garbage, especially Lightning. And I've built on Lightning, bro. Building on Lightning is like the biggest bitch in the world. It's a huge pain in the ass. Lightning fucking sucks. But what's really cool about it is being able to send Satoshis like damn near instantly and for free. Like that's super cool. But the Lightning layer 2 is just a bag of dog shit. And that's what they're finding out. And all of these other projects that are built around Bitcoin, all the open source stuff, apparently it's like all just filled with bugs. So yeah, man. I mean, and we just saw that cold card hack, which I don't think was a hack at all. I think that was like.
And we have the Trezor. Did you see? We have the Trezor that they leak customers' information, which is like exactly what you don't want. Like I don't want like bad guys should know that where I live and all personal information about me. There seems to be like something up with hardware wallets lately.
They they don't want you to have your own custody. They want you to put it in institutional custody.
Right.
And I heard a theory today, and don't hold this against me. I heard a theory today in my own Discord group. Somebody believes that Jake Claver is like a CIA implant to get people to get institutional custody. And I was like, wow, I mean, I don't want to believe that, but because I have no reason to believe that. But you gotta have an open mind.
That's a wild claim, man.
Wild claim. But I mean, like, I mean, they want you to. So if they're gonna say like all these hacks are happening on these crypto cold wallets, I mean, that's just one more thing that's like, oh, well, they obviously want you to. And the Clarity Act talked about storage. The Clarity Act talked about banning cold storage. And so, like, whatever you hold, they want it.
But what is controversial about hardware wallets or self-custody is, okay, I'm not trusting Coinbase for my custody. So I'm going to choose to trust another company called Ledger, and I'm going to custody my assets there. Oh, no, I don't like Ledger. Why? Oh, because it's a closed code. That I don't know how to read code. So I'm going to trust Trezor. Did you check the code? I didn't. I think most people didn't, but it's an open source project. So I'm trusting a different institution with my assets. At the end of the day, unless you have a complete setup of I randomly generate my seed phrase. So you have like step by step that you create from scratch. Unless you do that, you're pretty much trusting a different institution for your self-custody.
Well, but you can do multi-sig too, Paulo. So what you can do is you can buy hardware wallets from 3 different manufacturers. Let's say you get a Ledger, you get a Trezor, you get a OneKey. And then each one of those devices has its own seed phrase, its own key, and those 3 keys own a smart contract. And that smart contract is where you keep all of your assets on an EVM chain or on an SVM chain. I don't know if you could do it on Sui. You can do it on Bitcoin too, though. You could use Sparrow Wallet on Bitcoin. So you've got 3 devices, each have a key. And so you need 2 of 3 signing. So all that means is if one of your keys is compromised, then you're still good. So if one of those manufacturers gets compromised, you're still good. Now, if 2 of those 3 manufacturers get compromised, then you're fucked. Assuming that, not only did they get compromised, but also that your device is part of whatever the compromised wallets were from that company. So multi-sig is the way to go, but it's also a huge pain in the ass, man.
That's the point.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know about the September crash, XRPZ. Like, I mean, dude, the more that you read into the AI trade, though, like, it is obviously a scam. Like, it is clearly a scam. Like, dude, I fucking use this stuff all day, every day. And like, you can build the most amazing software now for $50 a month. Like, you don't even really need that. If you really know what you're doing, a $20 a month subscription, you can build anything you want, like literally anything you want. Or even better, you buy one of those NVIDIA DGX Sparks, set it on your desk, and then you've got free local AI forever. So you don't have to pay a subscription at all. It's just a one-time deal. You buy the box. So like when you take a look at these companies, man, it's just like this circle jerk of financing, and all roads lead back to NVIDIA. Just like what happened in 2000.
It's like the human centipede.
It is. It is.
Oh Lord, Michael.
It's like, dude, like who's going to be eating the food and who's going to be Kyle in this situation?
Right?
You know
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
dude.
Can I say one thing?
Should I eat a cuttlefish?
I want to say one thing in pro of Node Network that I just had happen to me. I was super impressed with your explanation of that whole smart contract cold storage, David, and I was like, this guy knows some shit.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I do this for a living. This is all I do, and I've worked with hundreds of people one-on-one, and so I've seen a lot of mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes, and you learn from that stuff, right? So I know what not to do. That's for sure.
That's why we started the channel. Me and Jeff initially, we started it because I was new to crypto and I was just learning DeFi. And so we were like, you know what? Me and Jeff talked. We're like, dude, let's just fucking fumble through this and like show everybody all the fuck ups, just be totally transparent that we're learning. We have no idea what we're doing. We're going to figure it out. And that was a couple of years ago. And then, we were lucky enough to talk with David, and he joined us, and just, it's been like this journey of learning. And, if you go back and watch our first videos, we were just fucking around trying to figure all this shit out. And, now, I mean, we have a really good handle on it, and I mean, David has a very good handle on it, but, I know that I've learned a ton from David.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, I feel like I've definitely helped a lot of people, but like, here's the thing, like when I look at the landscape of markets now, like you look at that AI trade, bro, like that is actually really terrifying. Because I mean, so like
companies or so.
I think that bubbles are actually a good thing. If you can think in terms of like multiple decades, I think that capitalism and bubbles are good because it means that you can build out really new great stuff. But bubbles also lead to crashes. And when you take a look at the S&P, dude, just like straight up, and you take a look at these chip stocks, and you look at like where the money is actually going and where these earnings are actually coming from, dude, the hyperscalers are fucked. They're so fucked. It's almost like maybe I hope that I'm missing something, but dude, I live, sleep, eat, and breathe this stuff. Like I use this stuff every day. And like, it doesn't make any sense for OpenAI and Anthropic to have the valuations that they have because they don't make enough money. Like the ROI is simply not there, and it's not going to get there quickly enough to outpace the debt. The debt is going to come due before the money arrives. So, and then you got, China, which is basically fucking OpenAI and Anthropic. Like they've stolen all their models. And like to think otherwise is retarded. Like the Chinese are the best thieves on the planet. They call it, corporate espionage or whatever. Dude, they're fucking thieves. They steal that shit. And so they've got people in these companies at OpenAI and Anthropic. Or what they do is they'll just like steal it with like much more sophisticated means. So they steal the models and then they give them away for free and make the weights open.
They're doing better, faster, cheaper.
And it's basically free. Like you can use Kimi K3 for like nothing. And it's like the smartest model on the planet. So like, what that does to Mike? That
the chat was asking about some of our like offerings and stuff like that. Anybody that's interested in, learning about crypto and DeFi and all that, we have a ton of stuff on our website, thenode.pro. But you can go there. There's a bunch of free learning stuff. There's a free community. If you want to talk to David or me or anybody or Paulo or, anybody in our community,
the source.
It's free. And then the Intel library with all the deep dives and stuff that we do. And they're all free. And then if you want one-on-one coaching, like if you want to get serious about, crypto and DeFi and, doing advanced strategies and, seeing about how you can maybe tweak your portfolio, he can't give you advice, but, he can, tell you the pros and cons and, things like that. But there's one-on-one coaching with David. It's a paid service, and we offer all kinds of stuff. But 80% of it's free. But if you want to take everything, the entry level stuff and some of the advanced stuff we give away, but the super advanced stuff to like take your investing to the next level, that's what we charge for. So
David can teach you how to multi-sig. Do you multi-sig, David?
I don't. But the reason why I don't, Paulo, is because it's a pain in the ass.
Correct.
And,
but that's the only bulletproof method for self-sovereignty or self-custody.
But it introduces other risks, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
I agree.
If you have one hardware device and you've got one seed phrase and you keep your assets on that device, okay, great. Well, if you lose the seed phrase and you lose the device, then you're fucked. But if
it were a cold card, you're trusting an institution again. That's the kind of the irony of self-custody.
The cold card, but the cold card wasn't necessarily trusting an institution. The cold card was people didn't audit that, and they should have. And it looks to me like pretty damn clear that what happened was the guy who built that thing built that bug in intentionally and just waited. and then he built the exploit and waited to deploy the exploit. And he stole like 100. It looks like to me, it looks like he stole like $150 million.
Retirement bug isn't what they called retirement bug.
Yeah, he called it a retirement attack. Like, no, he was tweeting about it. He was tweeting about it. He made up the term for his own attack, and then he implemented it, man. And it looks like he stole $150 million.
And I remember going to meetups in Charlotte, North Carolina. And all the Bitcoiners were saying, but if you want to be really safe, you need to get a cold card because that is the number one. I remember I heard that time and time again. You got to have a Bitcoin-only hardware wallet because Ledger and Trezor, they're all those shit coins. And so that's the kind of the irony that I've been thinking about this since the cold card thing happened. Because is it possible that a similar thing will happen to Ledger?
Oh, it's totally possible. Because
is it possible that a similar thing will happen to Trezor? So the only bulletproof way would be to have a multi-sig. But at that point, if you have like literally 2 or 3 layers of security with different hardware wallets, it's so incredibly inconvenient that it is statistically safer for you to have it at a Coinbase or Binance or
but then you don't own anything though. That's the difference. And so here's the thing: if you want to self-custody Bitcoin, the safest way to do it is to use Sparrow to get 3 wallets from 3 manufacturers and set up a multi-sig using Sparrow. That's the way to do it. Or you can trust Trezor and get their the Safe 7 with that EAL7 chip. And then just
I understand, David, but you are prepared to do something like that. I can learn to do something like that. But for most people, if they go like multi-sig and they screw up, they're going to lose their capital and that's it. It's gone. I think it's statistically more likely for you to lose a part of the setup and your money is gone. That's more likely to happen than trusting Coinbase and Coinbase vanish overnight.
So but for me though, Paulo, like the problem with Coinbase is that I think that they're more likely to fuck you over time. Number one, they report everything, okay? Number two, you don't own shit, they do. And number three, if they ever decide that they don't like your speech or the government decides it didn't like your speech, they're just going to steal everything that you have there. Like that will happen, I think. So like you don't actually own shit if you got, assets on Coinbase, and that's a problem. But yeah, man, I mean, the whole
it's a challenge. You got to agree it's a challenge.
Self-custody is a responsibility, and most people don't like that. Being responsible for your own assets is difficult. Think about it this way. If you had physical gold, where would you keep it? You probably wouldn't want to keep it in a safety deposit box at a bank. They can take that from you, right? Where would you keep it? You'd probably want to custody it at your home. You'd probably want to have some weapons so you can defend yourself.
Right.
Like these are, this is part of sovereignty, right? Is owning your own stuff. And so when it comes to digital assets, hey, you know what? You got to learn how to do this properly so that you don't get fucked.
And what percentage of people is ready to have a multi-sig?
Very few.
0.01%.
1%?
Yeah.
0.01%.
Less than that. Yeah,
exactly.
That's
what I'm getting at. But a Ledger or Trezor is pretty user-friendly. But when we get to like multi-sig territory, and I agree that would be like the bulletproof standard, it is complicated. It offers it's challenging.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. But I think it's probably the safest way. So yeah, man. But when I look out at markets though, you guys, it's like almost the end of the bear. Like I've been waiting for this, man. I'm waiting. And now what I'm thinking, I know, right? Like I'm kind of rooting for like a bit of a drawdown here into October, simply because like, man, I think that we might be able to pick up Bitcoin and ETH and a bunch of others, for a discount to where they're trading now. And then, dude, and then when you look at that AI trade, dude, like that shit is obviously a fraud. Like just because like, it's the biggest companies in the world. And, remember that book the smartest men in the room. I think what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to buy.
I wrote it.
You did. It's about Enron. It's about Enron, right?
It was an autobiography.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so dude, but that, like, everyone looks at these guys running these tech companies as like the smartest guys in the room, right? And that they're not capable of fucking up, and that they're telling the truth.
Most of those guys are like fucking Elon Musk. They're fucking autistic, where they're smart as shit in like one very focused thing, and they're absolute retards in everything else. And they have zero social skills, and they get a little bit of attention, like freaking.
Did you see?
And
Mike,
they think that they fucking think that everything that comes out of their mouth is fucking gold. You know, vaccines and fucking 3D printed meat, and it's fucking retarded.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Zuckerberg, like, have you seen his I mean, good for him that he's got a wife that he loves and all that shit, but I think that Zuckerberg sucks, bro. I think that he stole that idea from the Winklevoss guys.
Oh, he seems like a weasel.
Yeah, dude. And, you're talking about autistic, man. Like, did you see him on that? I don't remember who was interviewing him, but some podcast.
His wife looks like a dude.
Yes. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, dude. She looks like a dude.
He looks like a Chinese dude. How come like the richest man? Well, am I lying? How come the richest man in the world, one of the richest, like top 5 or something, is not able to find like a beautiful wife?
How's that beautiful, smart, intelligent, all that?
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It's just
it is.
He found what he felt was beautiful, and you know what?
So you think that his standard of beauty is a Chinese dude?
And you know what? Maybe
maybe she's smart as fuck. I don't know.
I have a hard time believing that.
I don't know.
Mic drop, Paolo.
Yeah, I know.
Well, if that's true, maybe his standard of beauty is a Chinese.
I knew dudes that I used to love going out to the club with them, because I knew dudes that lived in the barracks that they like the big girls, and I don't like the big girls. So I'm like, hey, I'll go out with you to pick up girls because you'll hook up with the big girl. I'll get her cute friend. We all win. It's everybody has their thing.
So Mike, you guys, you know which one of these companies is going to blow up first off this AI trade? It's fucking Meta. Meta blows up first, dude, because they're one of the hyperscalers that really started to borrow to get a big piece of this first. They started to borrow first. I think that Apple survives and Apple thrives because Tim Cook was smart as fuck. He decided, you know what? We're not going to chase this. And they didn't, they're not spending all their cash flow on building fucking data centers that will never get built because there's no power for them. Like, he didn't get into that. So Apple's going to thrive. And then, Microsoft, dude, is led by an Indian, so they're totally fucked. So Meta, Microsoft, totally fucked, those two. And then Google is led by an Indian too, so they're probably fucked too. And they've been borrowing in a motherfucker, dude. Have you seen? Have you seen how much
are like Jewish people at war with people from India too?
I mean, dude, I just like, so, when I was traveling around, I started in Santa Cruz and made my way up through Napa up to Ukiah. And when I was in Santa Cruz going through San Jose, I stayed for a night in San Jose. There's a big population of H-1B guys from India. And I stayed at an Airbnb for a night with, some fresh off the boat Indian dudes who had H-1Bs working at Intel. And I asked them, like, why do you guys all scam? Like, why is scamming a thing in India? And they were like, fucking, it's part of our culture, man. Like, that's just like what we do is we scam people. And I was like, fuck, man.
That's just what we do.
Like, dude, that shit's fucking real. That shit's fucking real, dude. And like, to be incapable of saying it and pointing it out is some bullshit. You got to be able to say, like, hey, dude, your culture fucking blows dick. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You call people up and you steal from them? Like, what the fuck, man?
But it's
true, dude.
It's not
totally
everybody.
True.
It's not everybody, though.
I know. It's only the 1.3 billion that fuck it up for the other 10, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just.
Well, let's say it's 1%.
I don't paint anybody with a wide brush. There's.
I can. I have no problem doing that. You know me well enough.
But when it's factual, maybe. But it's like
that's totally factual, bro.
It's not
so
factual.
in my business, in my personal life, in my business, like when I'm interacting with, you know, the Indian population, they're either the most condescending fucks or the nicest people in the world. There's no in between.
I mean, that's true of a lot of white people. That's true of a lot of black people. That's just true about people. There's scammers and there's freaking, you know, people that lie and cheat and steal. And it's just, there's people of all, you know, it doesn't matter. Basically, all I'm getting at is that's just society these days.
I don't think so. I think that there are certain populations that are much more likely to engage in certain behaviors. You've got to be able to point that out.
There is, but no one has a monopoly. I mean, it's just like, I mean,
I don't know, bro. Somalians I
would rather lose my wallet in Finland. I'd rather drop my wallet in Finland than in not Dubai, freaking
downtown LA.
No, New Delhi. Like if I was going to drop my wallet in the street and like lose it for a minute, I'd rather do it in Finland than in New Delhi, because I'm probably going to get my wallet back in Finland.
I don't know, man. Did they import Muslims into Finland recently? I think they might have. It's one of those Scandinavian countries. They've all been importing Muslims, bro. Right. It's fucking retarded. Like, it's literally suicide. Like, they're importing a fucking group of people who want to kill you. They want to kill you. Well, it's insane.
And the thing that makes that obvious is that there is literally, I've watched a lot of the different feeds, and I've talked to a lot of people that are boots on the ground, and they are all military aged men. There's like no kids, no women, no families. They're all like 18 to like.
It's called an invasion. That's an invasion.
Dude, literally, it's nothing but military aged dudes.
And they're there to rape and kill. That's the whole fucking point.
I don't know if this is true, but I would like for some, like, maybe we can look it up, like, freaking online. But I was watching one video and I meant to look it up. They said that there's a law in the UK that the authorities are not allowed by law to search mosques. And they claimed
the UK is now a Muslim country.
Well, they claimed that they were like stockpiling like weapons and stuff in them.
Of course they are. Like, dude, they're literally getting ready to start slaughtering the white populations. That's what they're going to do. Because that's what's happened in history, man. Like, there was a reason why there was a crusade. The crusades were justified. There were reasons for the crusades, dude. And look, we're going to have to go through that shit again, it seems. And it looks like maybe the Irish are going to have the balls to step the fuck up and do it first. And defend themselves.
The Irish are my people. You know,
bro. Maybe the IRA.
We don't fuck around. You know, the Irish don't fuck around.
Maybe they'll be the ones to start this shit off and actually start defending themselves, man. Like, I don't understand how people can allow this to happen. Like, I just don't
Irish people will go to war with a bunch of shillelagh sticks. You know, freaking a bunch of Irish dudes with shillelagh sticks. They just be freaking clobbering people with freaking, you know, Blackwood or Blackroot sticks.
They're gonna firebomb and kill people. That's what they're gonna do.
The IRA,
because that's what the IRA
coming after you.
Yeah, dude, they don't fuck around.
Have you guys ever heard of Steve Quayle?
No.
He's got a great conspiracy channel, and he's a big believer in Jesus and stuff, and he's a watchman in the biblical sense, and so like he's got all these sources that call and tell him stuff, and for decades he's been doing this and sharing this information with people. And he talks about how there's like already in the United States, and for a long time now, there's been sleeper cells installed into the United States all over. And there's people that are within the U.S. military, within the U.S. branches, that literally look and talk like you and I, like all of us. Like, you wouldn't be able to tell they weren't American. You wouldn't be able to tell any of that. And they are literally infiltrated and trained to look and act like us. And then they can power those guys on whenever they want. And I think they plan to do that sometime in the next 2 to 5 years. And it's going to be a very bad situation.
What the scale of it is debatable, but the fact is that it's here. I know for a fact. I mean, I know guys that work down on the Mexican border, and all during the Biden years, and all those people that were flooding across. A bunch of my buddies were saying that they were finding prayer rugs, they were finding Qurans, they were finding torn up and burnt passports from Middle Eastern countries and stuff. And there was a bunch of times where they would catch groups, and all the Mexicans and like all the people that spoke Spanish were like, "Hey, those guys over there don't speak Spanish," because looking at them, it's some of the people from the Middle East look a lot like they're Spanish, and so yeah, like the Mexicans and stuff like that would be like, "Hey, no, those guys are not Spanish," like, and they just latched onto our group, but they're not with us because they don't want to be associated with terrorists, and so yeah, I mean, there's definitely sleeper cells. There's definitely groups. I mean, it's well documented that there's like up in Michigan and places like that, up in Wisconsin or Minnesota.
Yeah,
there's whole
bro.
communities that.
What just happened in Spain from Morocco? Did you see?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Crazy. That's not organic. That's not organic. They were left there. They were taken there, and they were dropped there. It has nothing to do with. It has more to do with like the government and the institutions. Like those people, they were brought there.
Yeah, they were.
Nothing organic.
And it's like 80,000 people in a city of like 80,000 people.
Correct. And how is that not a destruction?
Well, I mean, like, I don't understand. You know what? It must be that the people there are disarmed, that they don't have the ability to defend themselves and actually, kill those people who are invading their fucking town. That must be what's going on. So they're going to get raped and murdered. The Spaniards who live in Quetta or whatever. Like, that's what's going to happen, dude. They're totally fucked.
Did you guys get a statistic of how many women are getting raped now in like the UK compared to like even 5 years ago?
Dude, it's insane.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that you really got to fact check, and that's not one that I've looked up. But like I just looked up the my claim that it's illegal for UK law enforcement to search mosques, and it looks like I was wrong. That they
but who'd you ask, Mike? Did you ask the fucking UK government or Gemini or something like
that? No. It's just the actual law is there is no law, but that doesn't mean that they are doing it. I mean, they're doing some really weird shit over there. As far as arresting people that are offending. Certain ethnic groups and stuff.
It's Muslims and Islam. Like,
is it true that Muslims, regular British people, they cannot carry any kind of weapon, not even a knife. But Muslims, they can because it's part of their religion. So they can carry a dagger or something because it's part of their religion.
The only one that is part of their religion is Sikhs, and Sikhs are not Muslim. They get mistaken for Muslims quite a bit. They wear the turban and
send them back. Send them back. What the fuck are they doing? They're not British.
I mean, do you know what a Sikh is?
It's some type of fucking Indian, dude. Send them back to India.
You obviously don't know what it is. So, it's Sikhs are.
But do they carry a knife? Yes or no?
Yes, it's part of it, and it's part of their religion.
Okay. So they can carry a knife and regular British people cannot because of their religion. That's what it comes down to.
I just claim I'm Sikh.
That's what I'm getting at.
Like, yeah, I'm Sikh.
So Moon Raider says that he got arrested for carrying a 1.5-inch pen knife on your keychain. Like, dude, I don't understand. Like, it doesn't compute for me. No. Like, it must be because the UK was disarmed. That's so Paulo, you would get arrested, I guess, for like carrying that. Yeah. Dude, I carry.
But it's part of my religion. That's what I'm saying.
Everywhere I go, I don't leave the house unless I'm carrying something, dude. Like literally, like I can't do it.
My hands are weapons.
Mike would love to see Mike in action someday.
Oh, dude, yeah, he's the real deal.
I would love to see you in action someday, Mike, is what I said.
I remember when they were doing that karate combat, like all the crypto people were doing that karate combat. I volunteered. They didn't take me up on it.
Oh, missed opportunity.
Yeah, man.
Is there like a crypto people wrestling or something?
No, it looked really cool. It was basically kickboxing. But it was like BitBoy Crypto fought like Crypto Crow, and Crypto Crow is like 6'7" or some shit. Like, he's huge. Like, I didn't realize how big he was. Like, watching him on his show, and he's like 6'7", 6'8" or some shit. And
so
BitBoy was like fucking heavy mouth breathing. I mean, he was like fucking done.
Yeah, he needed to smoke some more meth or something. But dude, so who was the guy who put that on? It was something. Oh, dude, Asian dude, like fat Asian dude. He's the one who like put that all together.
It was entertaining, but
it was great. It was great.
But I volunteered. I volunteered to fight, and fuck, who? What? There was somebody, right? But they were, somebody was talking all kinds of smack. And they're like, "Oh, nobody will fight me," and I was like, "I'll do it." It's like I'm 50 at the time. I was like 50 years old. I'm like, I'm 50. I'll do it.
So, Mike, you see this shit that Jeff is saying in the chat about the flock cameras? You know what's got me fucked up about these dumbass flock cameras, dude?
What's that?
Like, how many kids are there missing in this country? Like, why the fuck can't they go and find these missing kids, dude?
Right?
Why are they fucking with some dude in Arkansas about a bag of weed? Like, what the fuck is that?
Or, why are they messing with a dude that's taking a right-hand turn on a red and giving him a ticket?
I mean, even that. What the fuck?
I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but
I'm just saying, man. Like, you should not like. I definitely understand that there could be some positive use for these cameras, but dude, when has more surveillance from the state ever been a positive thing? Like, it just never is, man.
And when did it ever went back to whatever it was?
There's literally
then we have like, okay, so now it's good. Why is it good? Oh, because we have less surveillance.
There is literally nothing that gets better when the government gets involved. Like, name me one fucking thing, anything that the
Don't
government.
worry, Mike. I'm from the government. I'm here to help.
Right?
It's like, fuck.
It's like, all right, well, we're fucked now.
We're totally fucked.
All right, they showed up. Who invited this asshole to the party?
Like, dude, all these people who want government health care, like, are you fucking retarded?
Dude,
like, you want the DMV to run your fucking health care?
Like, if you want to see what government health care is like, go to the VA. You got to wait like 6 fucking months just to get a hearing about, like freaking, if I want to, say that, hey, my knee's messed up from jumping out of planes in the military, it takes them 6 fucking months to 3 fucking years just to have a board that I can go and talk to appeal to freaking, try to get disability for it. It's like, that's just the small sliver of fucking veterans. Imagine if they were taking care of every fucking American. You want to talk about over fucking, way too much money dumped into it. The service is gonna suck. It just there is.
We have universal health care in Brazil.
That. Well, and the government usually has no fucking competition, and so you basically you get what they give you. It's just like going to the DMV. You don't have a choice. You have to go there.
Yeah.
So you have to take your ticket, sit there for fucking 8 fucking hours if you're in California, and pack a fucking lunch. Everybody's outside having picnics. Like, literally, I'm not even joking. People will have picnics outside so they don't lose their place in line, so that they can freaking get their license plates or whatever. It's like, that's how ridiculous anything government fucking run is.
It really is, man. It really is. And you know what kind of fucks with me sometimes when I start to think about this stuff is like, dude, we fought a revolution in the United States back in the fucking 5%. Day. Oh, not even. Over like a tax on tea or something. It was like a 2% tax.
The straw that broke the camel's back, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like, but now people are like, oh, pay your fair share and 50% and fucking flock cameras and can't walk down the street. Like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, what?
Disgusted Canadian says that fucking up in Canada, they're waiting 8 to 12 hours at the DMV.
That's such a shame, man. Probably because you got a bunch of Indians and Muslims up there, dude. It's totally fucked. That's true.
But
totally
think
true, bro.
Think about also like how
everything goes back to that with David.
It's fucking true, bro.
Think about how much.
I'm gonna start calling David the Jewish Nazi.
It's
bro.
The German Jew.
The German Jew.
I will ask the questions.
But first you have to give me the money.
Yes, I like the money.
Give me the shekels. Give me the shekels.
Think about how much they've done to like make our population so docile now. I mean, they've been putting fluoride in the water to dumb us down.
Yeah, even the frogs turn out to be gay.
And chemtrails.
Why is it that so many men sound like faggots now, dude? Like why is it that they all sound gay? You
it's
know,
all like built up, and then they have the transgender movement, the homosexual movement, the pride flag, all that stuff. It's a religion. It's like a cult that, and so they've installed this, and what they've done is people like powerful like George Soros with all that money, like they've poured money into these indoctrination programs, and they put it into the school systems, these indoctrination programs. If you take a video compared to like China, like in China they're like all testosterone pro men, like pro that, like they're all about, and then you come to the country like our country, and it's all like pro pride, pro this, pro. I mean, I can't go to a business anymore. Not that I hate people, I can't go to a business anymore without the clerk there being a transgender now. And
so, dude, honestly, like easy, like dude, like pride is a sin, bro. Like pride's a fucking sin, and like I think that we should not tolerate some of this stuff. Like,
so if I'm proud to be an American, then I'm sinful.
No, man, I'm talking about like
pride. It's the type of pride.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, like fucking like, I just, every time I'm on YouTube or just out in public, dude, and like you hear some guy talking, he's like, hi, like this fucking up here, nasally, speaking from here, nasally voice.
Yeah. Forced. Yeah.
No, dude, I think it's from vaccines. I think it's from the food being toxic as fuck. I think it's from, like indoctrination your entire life in media, every piece of media that you consume. And school. And I think that like people are like brainwashed into accepting gay and transgenderism as like, okay. It's not okay, bro. It's not fucking okay. And it's definitely not okay around kids.
You're seen as evil if you don't support that. And especially in my state.
Dude, we should not tolerate that shit. That's my opinion anyway. I think that tolerating gay and transgenderism is fucking horrible. Like that shit should be marginalized. We should not tolerate Islam in the United States. That shit should be marginalized. We should not tolerate this evil shit. Like it needs to be marginalized. And when they try to push that shit on you and say, oh, well, you're a racist or you're a homophobe or motherfucker, I'm not homophobic. I'm homo dislike. Okay. Like I'm not afraid of that shit. I don't like that shit. Okay. Right. And so like, I'm not going to tolerate it around me. That's all. Like,
not because you're intimidated. If you're intimidated.
Do I hate that stuff? I mean, yeah, dude, I think it's fucking horrible. I think it's horrible, bro. I think it's really bad, especially around kids, man. I saw that shit during the pandemic in California when I was working for my sponsor in Narcotics Anonymous. And he had a mansion. And so in one of the bedrooms in that mansion, we turned it into a classroom. And so every morning I would get his 3 kids up. He was going through a divorce. And so I was taking care of his fucking kids because his wife, soon to become ex-wife, was retarded and like completely useless. So like he basically hired me to live in and take care of his kids as he was going through that shit. And so every day during the pandemic, I would get them up. I would make them breakfast. I would sit them down in that classroom that we built. And then I would watch them as they were on camera going to school. And the shit that I saw, it's like, bro, it was like one of the wealthiest fucking cities in Northern California. And the shit that I saw from the teachers in that school, number one, there were multiple teachers that were gay. And number two, they were talking about political shit. And dude, this is elementary school. These kids were 7 and 10. Like, there's no place for that shit around kids. Sorry, there just is not. You shouldn't have trannies and gay people running classrooms in elementary school
David,
either.
Careful, you're resonating with the XRP army.
Hey man, you know what?
Like, Rock said David is a true patriot. I like his takes on current affairs. Would like him in XRP though.
I mean, dude, we're gonna buy some XRP for the company, and we're gonna do that. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. But I'm just saying, man, like, we tolerate so much faggot ass bullshit now. And people even push it on you, and then they try to make you out to seem like there's something wrong with you. You don't accept.
That's where I draw the line. It's I don't care what 2 consenting adults do in their own bedroom. I don't care what 2 heterosexual people do in their own bedroom. But it has no place either one.
What do you guys think? What do you think?
But the word faggot though.
Well, either one has no place around children. It's just, I don't go to a workplace and tell people about my heterosexual, fucking exploits. I don't expect that somebody. I just it's not a place for it. There's certain things, and as far as the bathroom thing, you can choose to be and act however you want, but you can't expect everyone else to participate. If you're a dude and want to dress as a woman, go ahead. But you're going into the guy's bathroom, and if you don't present well enough and I call you sir, you can't get pissed about it. If you got a beard and you just look like a dude and I call you sir, that's your problem, not mine. That's where I draw the line.
I was just having this conversation with my nephew today. Exactly this conversation. It's an indoctrination, it's propaganda, and it's pushed on like a cultic religion. And so it's like, if you don't agree with them, or if you don't recognize them for what they believe they are, then it's like all hell gets let loose. And what they're doing is they're preying on the people that don't have their own identity. If you notice, there's some common theme between the transgender people that I run into. Like I said, I don't hate them. I treat them great. I talk to them just like anyone else. But like, what you notice about them is that they're kind of meek, or they're kind of different, or they're kind of off. And so they lacked an identity. And you're supposed to find your identity, at least in my faith, through Jesus Christ. You're supposed to find your identity and build your identity based on that. So when they have no identity, they have nothing they built their life on, no individual identity. So they prey on that mindset. That's why they're all, when you see those pictures, are like, why do all trans people look the same? I mean, it's a group they're pulling from to add to their army. And it's like, it's the group they pull from to add to their army for propaganda.
It's mental illness. That's what it is. And the suicidality rate in that population is just insanely high. It's like 50% attempt suicide in that population.
Well, gentlemen, I've had a long day, and I'm thinking it's time for me to surf a couch. So let's go around the horn and let's do a closing thoughts. So, Paulo, what you got for us?
Yeah, I would ask you guys if you have kids and if you would send them to school, or if you would homeschool them. Can I ask you this, Mike? Do you have kids? Would you send them to school?
No.
Would you homeschool your kids?
Oh, absolutely. No, it's like I don't have any kids, but if I decided to have some, one day, I'd 100%. I would homeschool. I'd hire somebody, or I'd do it myself.
You'd be a cool dad. We need some more miniature Mikes running around. You should make some kids, man.
I just never found a woman I trusted, to be honest. It's like, I'm not going to have a kid with a woman that I am not 100% fucking sure is going to stick around, because I
hope she finds you, man. You deserve it.
Well, it's just, I'm not letting I watched it too many times in the military. I'm not watching some random fucking dude that I have no say in, that gets to raise my kids and live with my kids. I'll fucking choke somebody. It's like not going to fucking happen. So I've opted to not have them, but just, there's not a whole lot of ladies out there that have those old school values. There's certain things that, I fancy myself a person of integrity. And integrity. And you know what? How hard is it? Like, with people that cheat, people that lie and cheat, I have no respect for, because if somebody that you supposedly love and care about, if you would hurt that person and betray them, because all you have to do, if you're not wanting to be with somebody, just tell them. Just be like, hey, I don't want to be with you. But it's like everyone just on a drop of a dime these days. I mean, they'll fucking betray somebody for fucking $5. Just that old school fucking, shake somebody's hand. I make a deal with you and I shake your hand. That fucking means something. Your reputation is currency. Those are the days I wish I was born in, where, you shook somebody's hand and you didn't fucking follow through. Then you were ostracized by the community. You know what I mean?
I agree with you, man.
And I have two kids. I have a 3 and 5-year-old. And so I wanted to homeschool our kids, and my wife is actually a teacher. And so she became a stay-at-home mom. But my wife's parents, they're very far left. And my wife is neutral, doesn't want to hear about politics.
Yeah.
And so we had a huge battle. I think the biggest marital battle we ever had was over vaccination. And so we compromised because her parents are both doctors. And so you can imagine the flack I got for being anti-vaccine.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
So it was a battle that was the most difficult battle in our marriage. And I wanted to homeschool, but I also knew that it would be up to my wife if we were to do that. And so she's like, even though I love teaching, she's like, I don't want that relationship with my kids. And so I had to respect that. But I would have loved to homeschool or opt for that.
So
it's tough, man.
It is, but no, it's an interesting world that we live in. You know, that old saying, you know, may you live at interesting times. Sometimes I wonder if that's a curse or a blessing. You know, it's, you know, interesting can be covers a very wide spectrum. I'll just say that. But
can I say this to that note? I believe that all of us, whether we like this period of time or not, I think we are going into Revelations. We are going into the end times. And nobody knows the year, nobody knows the day, but everything is leading and pushing that way and feeling very.
What do you think is it going to be in your lifetime?
I think within the next decade. I think, but so my point.
What is that, Mike?
I said, stop it, Paulo. We keep asking more questions and we keep going.
Well, I think
that's the thing. It's all about time frame, you know?
I think we're all chosen to be here during this time. We all have our special skill set. We all have our special, unique. And so when all this plays out, I think we're all chosen to be here during this time. And so God will never give you anything you can't handle. Even if it's like brutal and the worst, you can handle it. And as a Marine, you probably know that, Mike, but it's like, I think we're all chosen to be able to handle this. So I don't have much fear about it anymore. I struggled with that for a long time.
A lot of people would be very surprised what they're capable of. I mean, even if you're not trained and stuff, the human, just the human spirit, whatever you want to call it, you'll find a way to survive. If people that think that, I would never do that. Yeah, you will.
All right. So closing thoughts, as Mike asked me. As adults, we have control over the things. You want to get vaxxed. It can also be a battle. It can be complicated, but we have more options and we can choose, I like the way the node is. I like the way David teaches. So I choose to go there. But when we have kids or in society, we have very little control. We have much less control. So I think we can be sovereign individually, but everything else is debatable.
All right.
Well, I think that was a great show. Really enjoyed talking with you guys. And I think that we've got a lot in common, man. And we're all going to make it in this next crypto bull run. Okay. And hey, you know what, PZ? I hope you're right, man. I hope there's a crash first because be able to pick up some of the items that I'm looking at a discount. So we'll see what happens, man.
I hope we all make a bunch of money. I have a good, couple of years to, build my infrastructure some more, and then we have the zombie apocalypse. That's what I'm hoping.
You know why Mike wants that? Because he wants unlimited target practice.
You know what? It sounds weird, but I love the earlier Walking Dead. They drew it out way too long, but the early one, just that whole survival thing. But it needs to happen before I get too old. I don't want to be in a walker during the zombie apocalypse.
So, Mike, you know what we might do, man? Something I was just thinking about. It might be a good idea for us to do, and this might sound gay, but hear me out, a book club. Because, dude,
that's very gay.
It might kind of sort of, but there's some books that
remember that meme?
No, dude, because that book, Enron, The Smartest Guys in the Room. I want to read that book, but I want to read it with you guys. I want to discuss it, Because
I have 2 books by Ayn Rand. I have the Objectivism one, and I have the Atlas Shrugged. But that one, I haven't even heard of it.
I mean, dude, I think that it'll probably be valuable and an interesting discussion too.
Can I add one closing thought? Because I think Mike's itching.
Why not? Why not?
I think the only thing we don't have in common is our thesis around XRP.
Yeah,
I think so too.
that's why I asked you on, because at first when we were talking, and you were obviously, because we're so anti-XRP, we were button heads and stuff like that, and then we started talking about conspiracy stuff, and you were like, oh, wait a minute, we might have more in common than we thought, and then we had you on, and it was obvious that we do.
Yeah,
perfect example of why we all should keep an open mind, because it's like we really do have more in common than we have that we differ. So,
and can I ask why you guys are going to buy XRP? Because I know you said that you're going to buy stuff for the company or something like that. But
Max,
yes, yeah.
Max gave us a super chat, and he's actually another influencer, or a content creator. I hate that word, influencer. But he was in that debate with Mikkel. He was in the chat, and he super chatted us $100, and he's a huge XRP maxi, and so we were like, okay, in honor of him, we'll invest it in XRP.
Nice, guys.
Yep.
That's cool.
So
skin in the game.
Community. We all want each other to win.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No, we don't. I want all of you to lose so that I can win.
Oh my god.
Well, come the zombie apocalypse, I'd vote Mike to be last man standing.
I definitely, just if anything because of where I'm at, but I appreciate you guys. I really do enjoy this. I know that Dave, I talked David into coming on. He was wanting to relax and chill, and so I don't want to keep anybody too long. And I want to take off too. I'm going to go fucking drink and pass out. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all in the chat, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow morning for the Node. Had a great freaking interview, slash debate today. And I think tomorrow we might have a couple of guests on for the deep dives. I invited a couple of different people on to help us dissect the deep dives that we do. So
that'll be great.
So we'll see you tomorrow. Till next time, Veteran Crypto out.
Peace.